Hello everyone and welcome. My name is Bailey, also known as CringeMcCringle here on YouTube. It has been quite some time since I've talked about some video game related items. That's mainly because the last time I did it didn't even crack 200 views, so I thought that today I would go back and talk about some video game related items, but stick with the theme of the channel with rare exclusives. And I thought that I would talk about one that's been mostly forgotten over the years. Today I'm going to be talking about the Transformers 2010 Toys R Us exclusive Rage over Cybertron 3-pack. Coming to us via Toys R Us back in 2010. My god, that was 16 years ago. Jesus Christ. I really am hitting Unk status. This is weird. Anyway, moving on from my midlife crisis, this set was an exclusive 3-pack with lots of bits remolded in clear plastic and different paint hits, which I will cover. Firstly, there's the box, which showcases all three robots. We've got their tech specs on the side, pause if you wish to read, and here's the back of the box, which has the bio and product images. Anyway, pulling them out of their cardboard prison, they all look great. And I know the opinion of quite a number of people on TFW and the internet is that these old figures look better than the new ones, but I'm gonna throw out a hot take. No, they don't. The new Optimus and Megatron easily look a whole lot better than the old ones. And while, yeah, Bumblebee does have that really ugly chest, everything else about the new one is way better. Anyway, back to these guys. These are still good and hold up very well. Megatron, in my opinion, holds up the best out of the three, and I like this light purple metallic paint that's been applied to him. He's also got this red, this purple, this purple, this purple. Is that electricity on his knees? Head sculpt is great, and he looks properly pissed. The asymmetrical design on Megatron is just oozing cool, and with his big-ass clear purple cannon, which does shoot missiles, he's just about ready to fuck up whoever gets in his way. Like these two, Bumblebee and Optimus are radically different looking than their standard releases. Bumblebee appears to have all of his red light work done in blue this time around, as well as battle damage applied all over the robot mode, and a lighter gray plastic molded for the black. He comes equipped with two swords and a wee little bee blaster, and most importantly, light piping. Proportions are quite round, which makes sense based off of his design in the game, but the toy seems perhaps just a little too round in certain parts and not enough in others. Like, his arms and legs are too big and too long, while his chest is perfect. The backpack, not so much. Again, I think the newer figure does a lot better for like 85% of the figure, just not the chest. This one does that part way better. And then we move on to Optimus, who for the most part looks the same, but he's actually not, as he now has a whole bunch of yellow highlights throughout and some clear red plastic on the chest, with more to be revealed later. He does have one plus over the new Gamer Edition figure, though. Autobot logo in the back, baby. He comes prepared to battle with his ion blaster, and that is not that. That is a tiny little gun for this big chunky boy. Anyway, these three are able to hit some good poses for the time of 2010. Now, on to transformation. I'm going to make this as quick as possible. Megatron is fairly simple, legs fold over, and everything just kind of compresses together, and that is that. Bumblebee is like 75% easy, but for whatever reason, I had trouble getting his feet working in the background, and I would rather not admit how long it took me to figure out his head needed to be rotated around, but it was a while. And then there's Optimus, who is easily the most complicated out of the three, and I must say that his transformation is absolutely wild. There's a lot of unexpected turns, and so many different joints and pieces rotate that it doesn't feel like your standard Optimus transformation. And here we have the three in their vehicle modes. Starting again with Megatron, his tank mode now has a lot more color on it. The previous version was mostly just white and black, but on this we've got plenty more purple and red showcased throughout. It's a bit wonky proportionally with the tiny treads and the absurdly massive clear plastic fusion cannon, which shoots very well, I might add. It's not a bad mode, just definitely room for improvement, which in my opinion the Gamer Edition figure does make. Bumblebee, like Megatron, is mostly the same as his retail counterpart, but we can now see more clearly that blue Tron style highlighting replacing the previous red. I also noticed that the clear plastic in this mode has been lightened substantially and given a very slight red tint to it. There's some battle damage on the front, and overall everything tabs together very nicely. I love this mode, and it's still a very good representation even to this day. And finally we have Optimus. He's now rocking some clear red plastic on the front of the truck mode, finished with some ever so stylish yellow highlights. The rest of the vehicle mode is largely the same, but it now has that same yellow outlining on the tires and some scratches going along the top. The three look great together, and I do kind of wish there was a Soundwave equivalent to go with this set, or either packed in as well, but
alas, that never happened.
Overall, this set is unique, to say the least. While it's not necessary for anyone to get these figures as they're just simple repaints of characters that already had regular releases, they are still cool. You can imagine these figures as maybe versions of the character that got power-ups in the game, but ultimately, I'm sure they didn't think that hard. This seems more like a set to just fill the shelf space and get an exclusive out, and reuse the molds one more time. It's a good thing, though, that they're fun molds, because, yeah, this set is good, and I do enjoy it. So, with that being said, I will see everybody in the next video review. Take care.